All right, so I want to show you a trick with the 4 queens here. Okay, and I want you to see that each queen is just a regular queen. Are you satisfied?
I'm very satisfied. Love the queens.
All right. Now,
shout out to the queens out there.
We have the queen of spades, queen of diamonds, queen of clubs, and of course the queen of hearts. All right, now I'll take those over here, and I want you to see we just have 1, 2, 3, and 4 queens, right?
Yeah.
Now, Scott, I want to prove to you that you have completely free choice in this. So, for example, name any queen you want.
Out loud?
Yeah.
Queen of clubs.
Queen of clubs, and that felt like a totally free choice, right?
Oh, yeah.
So you can see that I don't have any control over anything that you say. That's important because you're about to make a couple of decisions. Now, Scott, there's black and there's red queens. Name one.
Black.
Watch. They're gone. The black one vanished. Now, Scott, we're left with the diamond and the heart. And we need to narrow it down, so name one.
I think I'm going to go with the queen of diamonds.
Diamonds. So you said black, now you said diamonds. Watch. Gone. So, Scott, what does that leave us with? You made all the decisions. You said black, you said diamonds. What does that leave us with?
It's just with the queen of hearts.
And watch, I won't go anywhere near this. I won't do anything funny. There's one queen.
Oh my!
Turned over. Now, Scott, you know what the craziest thing is about all of this? I was positive you were going to choose the queen of hearts. You know why I was so positive that you would leave this one till the end?
How come?
I was so positive because of our little mental experiment. I knew. So what I did was I actually turned the queen of hearts to be the only red-backed card in the deck.
Hey, wait a second.
That's how positive I was that you'd choose the queen of hearts. And as a final moment of proof that I knew you would choose the queen of hearts, well, there are actually no queens ever in play besides the queen of hearts. Like I said, the other ones have vanished.
You have a hole in that table?
No, sir.
What? Where did that come from? Where did you just... Nah, what the... I gotta see that in person. That's cool.
I'll show you in person. Yeah. That can definitely happen in person.
That could happen in person? Yo.
100%. 100%.
That was sick. I'm a big fan.
What is good, guys? It is Reed and welcome back to another video. Today we have an awesome tutorial, something I've been waiting to teach for a long time. Something I came up with probably not too long ago, actually, like a couple months ago. And it's a really awesome wave effect. Now, if you don't know, wave is an effect by Maven. It's an awesome effect, very classic. Now, the only thing that I don't like about it, and the reason I don't perform it, is because it is fairly heavily gimmicked, and I don't really use gimmicks. I don't really carry gimmicks. I just like to bring my deck of cards, my Sharpie, and a phone. And so I thought, you know, it's such a great effect, there's got to be a way to do it impromptu or virtually impromptu with, you know, a regular deck of cards. And so I spent some time thinking about it, and I finally came up with a really nice handling. There's been several variations, handlings of it, and this is what we got. Now, you know, you have to keep in mind with stuff like this, there's going to be sacrifices, obviously. Gimmicks, you know, tend to give you that freedom, or maybe a little bit more clean in other people's minds. But the techniques we're going to use here, it is going to use a bit of equivoque, but it's in an extremely fair way. Nothing like, pick this, pick that. Nothing that you really heard quite before. It's got a really nice premise that ties up everything perfectly, no matter what they say. It's not the typical get rid of this, get rid of that necessarily. Like it makes sense, right? Why we end up getting rid of cards if we need to, based on the premise, which you will see in a second. So it's really nice, can be done completely impromptu, or if you make one slight little change, it can just be absolutely incredible. So yeah, I'll let you decide. I'll show you the different variations of it, but it is this effect is just awesome, and then being able to do it impromptu now is just so great. So this is one of my favorite effects I'll be teaching on the channel up to this point. So of course, all credit to Maven on the idea behind this effect. So without any further ado, let's get into the impromptu wave. So time for the breakdown. As you can see, it gets awesome reactions. It sets up to get the perfect outcome a lot of the time. And yes, it's a 1 out of 4 chance, but with some psychology, it's actually realistically higher than that. I would speculate closer to 50-50, if not more, with the fact that we're going to be using the Queen of Hearts here, and Hearts is by far the most common named suit. So for the setup, what you're going to need is the 4 queens from the deck that you are using, and 3 of the aces from the deck that you're using. Now, I personally choose to use the 3 that is not including the Ace of Hearts, because the other one is going to be the Queen of Hearts, and I don't know, I like having the 4 different suits here. Now, I do have a completely impromptu handling that just uses this, so you can do it with this deck, but then you don't get the blue backed reveal. And I think there's, you know, being true to the original effect, this is exactly how the original effect looks. You know, there's the 4 queens, they name a queen. The one they name ends up being reversed out of all the others. Then it ends up being the only one with the blue back, and then all the other queens disappear except that one. So for us, instead of disappearing, they're, you know, changing to the aces, but you could easily get blank cards if you wanted and do it like that. I just, you know, for the impromptu's sake, I keep it with the aces. And all you need that's not technically impromptu would be a queen with a blue back. Now, again, I have a different handling that if you guys are interested in learning, let me know and I can consider teaching that. But essentially what it's going to change is just some of the handling. So you actually use this queen over here. You actually steal out the queen over here and flip it over. Problem is you don't get the back reveal. So, you know, you could scribble impromptu, take your Sharpie and scribble on the back of this one, or write "you will choose this one," so that it's the only one that you wrote that on the back. So you still get the same back design effect, but, you know, one, it kind of ruins that card for other, you know, use, and the blue is just as good. So to me, you know, it also, having the duplicate makes the handling way easier. You don't have to do a flip of the card secretly and stuff. So I would really recommend this version. But again, if you want to learn the 110% completely impromptu, don't need anything extra besides a regular deck of cards, well, let me know and we can do that. But for now, just go grab yourself a blue backed queen, or a different backed queen, I should say. So the setup is going to be one of the aces, the blue backed queen face up, and then the other 2 aces on top of the deck, and that is all you need. So what we're going to do is you're going to hand these out to the spectator, and you're going to say, all right, we're going to use a trick here with the 4 queens. So I just want you to check these out, make sure they're normal, there's nothing wrong with them. And I like this because, you know, they'll just quickly flip over and notice the back, but they'll get the feel, and they will subconsciously notice that all the backs are red, and I think that's nice for later. Now, while they're doing that, you're just going to get a break under your 4 card setup that you have. Okay, so I would normally just, you know, spread slightly towards me. I keep it sort of at eye line so I don't flash the queen, but I also don't flash the back, and I get my break, or I just pinky count 1, 2, 3, and 4 cards, right? So whatever method you choose, just get that break under our setup. Now when we take this back, we're going to put those on top. Doesn't matter the order, it can be mixed however. You're going to place those on top. We're going to do the Browy addition. So you're going to pick up everything at the break, right? So now you should have 8 cards. So as you do this, you keep these fingers in biddle grip, and that'll help hide the thickness of the cards on the front. So then what you're going to do once you're in the biddle grip is you're going to peel off the queens, and you're going to name them. So you say, all right, so for this we're using the Queen of Clubs, Queen of Hearts, Queen of Diamonds, and as you get to the last one, you quickly drop it on top, but maintain a break over what you just dropped, okay? The situation is the 3 queens underneath, and then we have our, whatever the last queen is on top, and then our original setup, and we have a break under that, right? Because what we do at speed, 1, 2, 3, drop on top, but I'm sticking my pinky in there and catching that break. And then I say, and the Queen of Spades, and I just flip a single over and flip that over. And that's where we're going to end, right? So that's so now we have a break above those 5 cards in that order right there, with the 1 Queen of Hearts reversed. Now we just need to remove this queen. So what we're going to do is we're going to come over top. The thumb, we're going to grab the break, and the ring finger, we're going to grab the front of that packet. So you just come in, you grab it, and the thumb's going to peel that card off and leave it. So all we're doing is we're slightly turning this way, and the reason we're turning is to set the deck down over here. So it's very justified, and we're peeling off that top card and leaving it on top of the deck. So it's just like this, set down, and now we've stolen that card away, and we have just our setup, and we are ready to go, and the 4 queens are left over on top. So again, break under the setup, they inspect it and you say, all right, so for this, like I said, we're using the Queen of Clubs, Queen of Hearts, Queen of Diamonds, and the Queen of Spades. Set that down, maintaining a break, flip it over. You say, all right, we don't need the rest of the deck. And again, you're peeling off and setting that down as you pull away your packet above the break. So you say, all right, we don't need the rest of the deck, so we'll set that over there. Now, we're gonna do a simple Elmsley count just to prove that one, we have 4 cards and that they're all face down. So you just say, all right, and now we just have the 1, 2, 3, and 4 queens, except instead of putting that last card on top, you're just gonna put it right back on the bottom. And that's gonna keep the cards in the same order. And that's nice so that the queen isn't all alone at the bottom, and so that's actually sandwiched in the middle. So for the Elmsley count, what I do is I just come here and I pull up on the top card, and then I get my thumb underneath it, and now I can easily slide that top card off, right? So I'll go boom, peel up, thumb underneath, and then I slide the top card off. Now I do a block push off, right? You do your block push off, and that's very easy. You're just pinching like this and pushing off of the thumb. That's concealing the queen. As this card comes back underneath and gets replaced as this one steals, so you replace the bottom one as you steal off the double. So that's 2. Then you pull off 3, and then you go 4 and just stick it underneath, okay? So again, at speed, it's just we got 1, 2, 3, and 4 queens. Again, you have them inspect it. We're gonna do a trick with the 4 queens. Just take a look at them, make sure they're regular. They check it, you take them back, you say, all right, so like I said, we're using the Queen of Clubs for this, the Queen of Hearts, the Queen of Diamonds, and the Queen of Spades, but we don't need the whole deck, so we'll leave that over there. Now, we're left with just the 1, 2, 3, and 4 queens. And you set it down, and now you're done. Now it's just a bit of equivoque, and you're good to go. Technically, to get the perfect outcome, it's a 1 in 4, right? It's a quarter chance that we're going to get them to say the Queen of Hearts. But we've set this up in a really nice way that if they don't say the Queen of Hearts, we've framed it as an example, so we can just dismiss it. But we're also getting that chance to get the perfectly clean effect. Also, I would argue that using the Queen of Hearts, it's said so much more often than anything else. I would argue it's closer to 50-50, if not more, that you're going to get the perfect outcome because of how often people say the Queen of Hearts. So the first sentence you say, the goal here is to get them to feel like it's an example, but if it hits the Queen of Hearts, like that was actually their choice. So the line you say is, I want to show you that this is a completely free choice. Every decision you make is a completely free choice. So for example, name any queen. Right? That's the line you use. Now, if they say Queen of Hearts, you say, perfect, and that felt like a free choice, right? And they'll say yes, and you say, all right, so Queen of Hearts, watch this. And now you go into the effect, and it's perfect. So you say, for example, name the queen, and we rebuttal with, perfect, that felt like a free choice, right? So now it's congruent with what we said before. If it doesn't hit, you said, all right, now that felt like a free choice, right? And then they'll say yes, and you say, perfect. So that'll show you that every decision you make moving forward is going to be completely free, and there's no way that I can control it, correct? And they will say yes. And I say, perfect. And now because you started with, for example, they'll just feel like that was an example, right? But if you get the hit, you just move right on into the effect. For the sake of the explanation, if you say that line, if they say Queen of Hearts, you just say perfect, and that felt like a free choice. The Queen of Hearts, all right, and then you move into the reveals. If not, then you say, all right, and that felt like a free choice, right? And that proves that every decision moving forward is going to be a completely free choice. Now, the first question you ask if they don't say the Queen of Hearts would be, all right, name a color for me. If they say black, what you're going to do is you're going to snap and you're going to say gone. And you can kind of leave this ambiguous, but essentially we're implying that they've disappeared, right? So you say gone, or if you want, you can say, all right, black ones disappeared. And the nice thing here is at their end reveal, that's exactly what's going to happen. Those other queens are going to be disappeared. So it makes perfect sense that we're eliminating them because they are disappearing at the end of the effect, right? You've done your example, you've proved that they have free choice. Now you say, all right, name a color. They say black, you say, all right, gone. If they say red, you say, all right, perfect. I'm going to make the black queens then disappear. Watch. And obviously that makes sense because, again, it's them choosing the red ones, so you're going to disappear the black ones. But if they say the black ones, those are the ones you make disappear. And regardless, it's so perfect in the context of this effect because the other queens are disappearing at the end, right? They're going to see that they actually did disappear. So there's no strange ambiguity or question. You're actually doing what you're saying. So again, ideally here, I actually do think they just say black. If they say black, it's quite ideal. If they say red, it's also great too. But I almost like when they say black here if I don't get the first hit, because then it makes perfect, like perfect. You just say, all right, black, gone. Let's go with the black first. They say black, gone, so you snap and you know, black, gone. You say, all right, so that leaves us with the hearts and the diamonds. So you say, all right, we need to narrow it down further. So we have the hearts and the diamonds left. Name a suit. Because we just made the black ones disappear, if they say diamonds now, it's so perfect. We just say diamonds, gone, right? So think about that. We said black, or they said black, you said black, gone. They said diamonds, you say diamonds, gone. And it's so congruent. And then obviously you, at that point, you would just say, all right, so what are we left with? And I like to, rather than saying, all right, we're left with the Queen of Hearts, I ask them, because it almost makes it feel like now they're saying it, and in their memories, it almost, you know, they'll feel like they kind of chose that. Name a color, they say black, you say black, gone. Then you say, all right, so now we're left with the hearts and the diamonds. We need to narrow it down, so name a suit. And I love the word narrow it down because it keeps it so ambiguous, right? Is this the one I'm choosing? Is this the one we're, you know, getting rid of by narrowing down? So I use that line a lot, but it fits nicely here. We need to narrow it down more, so name one. They say diamond, then you say, all right, diamond's gone. And now it's so congruent. You made the black ones disappear, you made the diamond disappear, which is, again, exactly what you're gonna do and only be left with the Queen of Hearts. So it's perfect. Now, if they say black and then hearts, it's fine because this is the final choice. And I always say this with Equivocate. The final choice, you're okay to not be congruent with what you've done in the past because that final choice is their choice. It's their final decision. So if you need to break the disappear to say, all right, so hearts, that's the one you want, that's okay because it's the final choice, right? So it doesn't, they feel attached to making that final decision on what they want, right? So it's really easy. So you'd say, you know, they go black, you say, all right, black, gone. We need to narrow it down. So name a suit. We have hearts and diamonds left. They say hearts. And you say hearts. That's the one you want. You're sure? And they say yes. And you say, all right, you made that choice. So if you choose hearts, I'll make the diamonds disappear. Boom. And again, it's so perfectly congruent because it's their final choice. That's the one they want, right? We said narrow it down, so it's super ambiguous. And then once again, we're following up. You just follow up with the proper line, right? Just before you jump straight into diamonds gone, you just say hearts. So that's the one you want to go with, yeah? And they'll say yes, and you say perfect. And if they happen to say no, you just said that's the one you want to go with. So if now they change to diamonds, the go with meant for disappearing. We could just switch the context, right? So if they say hearts and you say that's the one you want to go with, they say no, actually diamonds. They say, all right, well, diamonds gone, right? Because we never said yet. So that's the one you want to go with. They say yes, hearts. You say perfect. So you chose the hearts, so I'll make the diamonds also disappear. Boom, gone. And there we've just covered all the outs on the black side. Now if they say red, it's a little bit different. And what we do is sort of the same sort of thing. But if they say red, you say, all right, so you want the reds? Perfect, watch what I'll do. I'll make the black ones disappear, gone. So blacks are gone again. And then again, you same line, you say, so now we have the diamonds and the hearts left. We need to narrow it down, so name one. And this is why the narrow it down line is so important, because if they say hearts in this case, it's perfect, right? If they say hearts, we had, they chose red and then they chose hearts, so it's perfectly congruent. When you said name a color, they said red, you say, all right, perfect, that's the one you want, the black ones are gone. Then you say, all right, name a suit, they say hearts, you say, all right, again, that's the one you want, diamonds gone. Perfectly congruent. Kind of the worst outcome here, which is still not that bad, is if they say red and then diamonds. To me, that's the like worst outcome, but it's so congruent regardless. They say red, you say, all right, black's gone. And then you say, all right, we need to narrow it down, name another one. Now they say diamonds. And now you just emphasize that you said the word narrow it down, because that sounds like you're, you know, getting rid of, right? So you said, all right, we're going to narrow it down, diamonds, gone. And what does that leave us with? They say hearts. And again, I like to ask them, what does that leave us with? They say hearts, and you say Queen of Hearts. So regardless, that's all the Equivocate. Just, you know, focus on those lines, your rebuttals, the questions. The wording has been well thought out. It's very important, but it's so congruent because of the disappearing is actually what's happening. It's not just like we're eliminating cards to eliminate them. We actually are going to make them disappear, so it fits so perfectly. Once you got the Queen of Hearts, it just comes to the reveal, and this is so easy, so, you know, perfect. But typically what I'll do for patter-wise, I'll just say, all right, so think about this. You made all the decisions. We proved they were free choices. And you chose the Queen of Hearts. Watch, without even touching, I kind of wave my hand and I say, watch, I'll get one card to flip over. And it is, of course, the Queen of Hearts. then I spread out and kind of spread out all of them so they can really see only one card turned over. At this point, that's already very impressive, right? Very cool. And you say, but wait, I actually knew you were going to pick the Queen of Hearts. You know, I was so sure that I actually made it the only blue-backed card in the entire deck. And then you have a great hit. So let each of these moments sink in before you go to the next hit. And then I like to flip this back over. What's even crazier is you actually couldn't have said any other queen, because there were never any other queens at all. And you have this, it ties up the making the queens disappear, and it's just a final moment of amazement. And if you have blank cards, it's absolutely incredible. Alright guys, so that is my impromptu wave. I hope you like it. It's a really awesome effect. One of my favorites to perform. It absolutely kills every time, and it's just so good. So let me know what you guys thought about it in the comments below. Like this video if you like this, if you want to see more stuff like this. I do tend to take effects that aren't impromptu and try to make them impromptu, because that's one thing I love to do and perform. So yeah, if you need help with this effect or any other effect or your sleights, feel free to send me an email, rf.sleights@gmail.com, and we can set up a private lesson. So let me know in the comments if you're going to use this, if you like it, if you have any other ideas with it. And yeah, with all that said, don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, and I will catch you in the next video.